Welcome to my channel. Before you go ahead, just hit the subscription button and the like button, then make sure you share the video. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. How is everything? As I told you the last time that our lectures will be both online and offline. Today we will be talking about pressure groups and political parties. But before then, let us look at the essence of government and how political parties and pressure group, come to be. Modern democracy, unlike in the ancient Greek city-states where social and political decisions were taken through the direct participation of male adults, population and other prevailing factors have restricted the direct form of government in modern state to something of almost impossible. Good governance, as we know, entails the ability of the government to provide protection and security of lives and property for her citizens, irrespective of the population, then ensure peaceful civil relations among them, and also deliver services through the enforcement of rules, regulation by certain institutions of government and structures. Government, irrespective of whether democratic or not, ensures that general desire of its subjects are met for the continuous legitimacy of that government. Modern-day democracy has expanded in scope, space, and reach to a well-evolved system that involves the activities that ensure the effective running and functioning of government in order to realize its primary objective. Hence, government has expanded to include such institutions, structures like elective representative legislature, constitutionally protected and independent judiciary, constitutional and democratically elected executive, civil society organization, as in pressure group, mass media, and political parties, which provide the platform for contestation of political offices and formation of government. La Palumbara 1974, for instance, defines political party as a formal organization who is self-conscious, of which primary purpose is to place and maintain in public offices persons who will either alone or in conjunction with other people control the machinery of government. While political party, in the view of Ball, 1986, are organized group whose major objective is to gain control and exercise state power, either solely or in cooperation with others. Haywood, 2002, defined political parties as a group of people organized for the purpose of attaining governmental power, most especially through elections. In a similar vein, Curtis, 2005, described political party as a group of people who hold certain political beliefs in common or who are prepared to support the party candidate, work together for electoral victory, attain and maintain political power, and of course, form government and continue to perpetuate themselves in government through legal means of election. In other words, we can sum all this definition to mean that political party is a group of persons bonded in ideas and opinions in support of a general political cause, which essentially is the pursuit of political power, capturing same and retaining it for governmental purposes and use, for as long as democratically feasible. In the perspective of Dvorak 1954, one of the leading scholars on political party, he sees political party as a group of persons organized to acquire and exercise political power. Just like Sartori 1976 sees political party as a political association identified by an official label and other symbols who present candidates for election who, in their own view, have the capacity of winning and retaining political power for as long as practicable. In all of these definitions, the connecting line among them shows that there is an agreement in the perception of the scholars who have provided their opinions on political party. Firstly, they agree that all political parties have one sole aim, which is the winning and control of government. Secondly, it is agreed that it is a group of people that have the same ideology. And thirdly, it is also generally believed that the people are ideologically bound to contest and remain in power for as long as possible. Now, what are the features of political parties? From the outline definition above, we will discover that political parties have some certain features that we can find in all the political parties, irrespective of how and where they are formed. Number one feature of political party is one, ideology; two, control of government apparatus; three is membership; number four is manifesto; number five is campaign, which is the last. Now, starting from the number one, which is political ideology, political party is meant to have a clearly defined ideology that separates it from one party and the other. Why parties are formed to focus on different aspects of government or governmental need. Then they tend to adopt the problem they have come to resolve as their own ideology. That is why in a developed democratic climate, there cannot be two parties that have the same mode of ideology. There are features that run through all political parties, irrespective of the form and the manner it takes. Number one is ideology. It is a confirmed feature to say that every political party has political ideology. Every party has the means through which they feel they can achieve governmental function, and it varies from party to party. While some parties are social welfarist in nature, other parties are capitalist in nature. For instance, in the United States of America and Great Britain, the dominant parties there are ideologically distinct, such that citizens can recognize that a particular party stands for this salient point, and other party stand for other political ideology that is distinctly different from others. Then the second feature is control of government apparatus. It is a general feature that every political party is out to contest election, and they are also out to win election and control government apparatus. It is the main objective of every political parties, and it formed their basic feature. Number three is membership. Political parties have a broad-based demographic composition in terms of membership. By this, it means that membership for political parties usually cut across all segments of the society, irrespective of occupation, social status, race, religion, and sex. Unlike other organizations that are biased against a certain number or a certain group of people, either in terms of race, in terms of sex, in terms of age, or in terms of social status. Political party cut across the whole strata of human existence. What for now is manifesto. This is an outline program of action for political parties when it captures power. Party manifesto is a distinguishing feature of party from other form of organization. Such could be printed or transmitted through electronic media to the public for their consumption. It is a campaign tool for selling party agenda to the member of the public. Now, the number five, which is also the last one, is campaign. Every political party is expected to carry out these political activities, which is called campaign. All of them buy into the heart of the voters, or the will-be voters and their supporters, through this instrumentality of campaign, which is a very cogent aspect of the political process and electioneering. Political party makes deliberate and conscious effort to convince the general public through campaigns, rallies, conferences, congresses, and town hall meetings in order to gather support of those who align with their party ideology and interest. Normally, these people come together to support the interests and to ensure that those interests are translated into government policies and power. What are the functions of political party? Political parties are meant to perform leadership recruitment and training. They are meant to simplify political process and organization of government. They are also meant to perform enlightenment and education function of the public. And the fourth one here is they are meant to mobilize public opinion and gather public interest. Then number 5 here is promotion of public accountability. Number 6 is they serve as watchdog and also serve as pressure group. Watchdog to the party in power, and they also help to mount pressure on the party in power to perform in a given way. Then number 6 is social welfare and economic function. Political party also perform social welfare and economic function. Number 7 here is party offers variety of choice to citizens. Number 8, which is the last point here, is policy formulation and agenda setting for the government of the day. Let's just run through each of these form of function of for ease of understanding. Number 1 here, which is leadership recruitment and training. A political party perform the function of enlistment of leaders and training of future leaders through the platform to contest election and the opportunity to hold party offices at various levels. Political parties are also agents of socialization, whereby they aid the inculcating of political ideas, political norms in the mind of their members. Political parties are actually an important channel for recruitment of new leaders for the country, developing political sphere, and for allowing citizens choice and then an input into selection of the leaders of the country. Usually, men and women of integrity stand for election, and then they are supported by the party to win election. So by so doing, parties are known for leadership recruitment and training for political agenda. The simplification of political process and organization of government. Modern democracy in mass society is unthinkable without parties. What this means is this: in the parliamentary system of government, for instance, it is through the instrumentality of political parties that government are formed into the government and opposition party. It will be most difficult, for instance, to constitute the government, both in the presidential system of government and parliamentary system of government, if there are no parties, if elections are not won based on party line. Party helps to simplify political process and organization of government. Through political parties, elections are made very easy, and those that win election are also able to form government along party line. Then enlightenment and education of the public. Through political rallies, conventions, conferences, political parties educate the people by deliberately developing their level of political awareness, by bringing to the attention of the public issues they feel are of great importance to the polity. These they do through campaign by bringing to the attention of the voters the promises and the campaign manifestos of the government in power, and how they have either fulfilled it or how they have failed to fulfill those promises. Number 4 here, which is mobilization of public opinion and public interest. Public opinion can be seen as the collective belief, judgment, or views held by majority of citizens of a country about public action or public inaction or policy of government. This is a political party enjoying the monopoly of audienceship from the government. In other words, they serve as a link that connects the people to the government. What this is talking about is this: public interest group. Most of the time, when they make their opinion known on behalf of the general public, it does not carry as much weight as the opposition party or parties. Simply because it is a known fact that opposition parties are waiting government who cash in on the weakness of the party in power to replace it. Hence, whatever allegation the opposition party or parties put against the ruling party in power, they take it with every sense of seriousness. And they take it much more seriously than when just opinion group, make up their intention known to the government. So by so doing, political parties serve as an avenue to mobilize public opinion and garner public interest to the attention of government. And promotion of public accountability, because every political party want to be in power. Then parties that are not in power put themselves up as opposition, so as to continue to compel the accountability of the party in power. Why they do this is because they are always looking for loopholes to paint and to expand for their own political benefit. Now, political party also serve as a watchdog and pressure group. Yes, the largest pressure group in any democracy are the opposition party. This is because they are consistently and constantly positioning themselves as credible alternative to the government in power. Hence, they take cognizance of all activities of government so as to score political point by exposing its weakness to the citizen. Take, for instance, 2015 and 2019 general elections showed the level at which political parties can play the role of watchdog, as criticism were constantly rolled out by APC in the pre-2015 election against the PDP, Goodluck Jonathan-led PDP government. In the same vein, in 2019 general election, PDP, as led by Atiku Abubakar, was constantly rolling out the ineffectiveness and the weaknesses of the government in power, which is APC. So they serve as watchdog to the party in power. APC, for instance, in 2015, being the opposition, continued to lash out at the government's weaknesses and inadequacies. Issues of corruption, security, economy, power were boldly amplified to the notice of the voting populace. Despite the competitive nature of politics, political parties remain a vital cradle of opposition and criticism, whether in power or out of power. Number 6 here is that political parties serve as social welfare and economic tool. Political parties are also into the business of providing job opportunities for their members through party offices, and allow members to work either as clerks or as administrators in party offices. Some categories of party offices, like chairman and secretaries, are held on full-time basis, thereby creating jobs for the holders of such offices and retinue of their aides. Political rallies and campaigns also provide opportunity for petty trading around the venues of such activities, while in some climes, political parties perform social welfare function, such as eradication of illiteracy, ignorance, then disease, and they also embark on providing some economic succor to the member of the populace as a way of garnering their support. Then, party also offer varieties of choices to citizens. In a multi-party democracy, political parties play the fundamental role of providing the citizen with the opportunity to actualize their political aspirations. Likewise, it also provides them the opportunity to change non-performing leaders during elections. Thus, through these instrumentalities of political parties, citizens can vent their displeasure on their leaders by voting for another party in any election. 2015 presidential election and 2020 United States election saw the change of leadership from Goodluck Jonathan of PDP to Muhammadu Buhari of APC, and also Donald Trump of Republican Party to Joe Biden of Democrats, respectively. So, political party perform this fundamental function of providing citizens with a very wide choice. Formulation of policy and agenda. Parties, both in or out of power, perform the function of articulation of public policy and agenda setting for governance. The ruling party convert their manifestos into policy and programs of government, while the opposition party, through their gale of criticism, perform agenda setting functions for the government in power by constantly criticizing them and shaping their orientation, their intention, and their action towards the betterment of the society. Now we have seen the functions of political parties. It is also good for us to continue by looking at the problems of political party, especially in Nigeria. As we know that wherever there are people, there are meant to be some inherent challenges. Number one problem here is indiscipline. Number two here is lack of clear-cut ideology. Number three here is party financing. Number four here is lack of internal democracy in the party. Number five here is religion and ethnicity. Then number six is corruption. Now, let us run through these problems one after the other. Indiscipline. One of the prevailing problems of political party is indiscipline, which is the refusal of members of party to fully abide by the principles, values, and rules as entrenched in the constitution of the respective party. Party discipline as the violation of the entrenched fundamental principle, rules, regulation guiding the conduct or behavior of every member of a political party at all times. And any deviation from this principle, rules, and regulation ought to be punished accordingly, irrespective of whoever is involved. Party discipline is projected to be a very potent instrument for party control. Why party indiscipline is a very important vice or vices that limit party performance in election. Unfortunately, party control of its members in Nigeria can be likened to a situation where power and authority have been lost to politicians who are financially and economically buoyant, thereby using the opportunity to seize and exercise political control and authority over political parties for personal gain for themselves or their cohorts. Most of the time, all those power mongers, those powerful people, those influential people, economically stable political gladiators in the party don't seem to subject themselves to party discipline, as most of the time they are the party financier, so they feel that they are above the party rule, and rather than obeying the rule, they dictate the rule, which most of the time is in their favor. Number two here is lack of clear-cut party ideology. Parties are meant to have clear-cut political ideologies, but in Nigeria here, political parties do not have clear-cut ideology, as it is very convenient for members of the public and politicians to continue to rotate among the leading political parties, so long as rotating among the political parties will continue to ensure that they continue to remain in power. That is why it is very convenient for a senator elected on the platform of PDP to willingly and gladly decamp from PDP to APC, or those elected on the platform of APC, they gladly decamp from APC to PDP, especially if they know that their political future is not guaranteed in that political party. It is because of lack of party ideology, and that is a very great problem to party politics. Parties are meant to have clear-cut ideology that guide the conduct, that guide their aspiration, that guide their action, and that guide their inaction. Party financing. Most of the time, finance is a major problem. Not only they a major problem of political parties in the country, but it is because party requires finances to actually fund its activities, and the lack of it's a very big problem. And then in another form, party financing can also create problem for parties, because in Nigeria, most of the parties are financed either by governors or some political gladiators. And in financing the parties with their resources, they are always under the impression that the party is supposed to be their property, and they are supposed to be in control and in total and firm control of the parties, which most of the time causes party division. Most of the time, you see people who are not comfortable with them will decamp from that party to another party. In another word, party financing is a recipe for godfatherism, because those godfathers are the party financier, and godfatherism is also a recipe for lawlessness in the party, lack of party democracy, which is also a recipe for division among the party. And that takes us to lack of internal democracy in the party. Party democracy sometimes is referred to as intra-party democracy, which describes the level of inclusiveness of party members in the decision-making process and deliberation, selection of candidates at every level, and that has to be done in respect for the party constitution by those concerned. And most of the time, the money bags most of the time hijacks the party structure so that they can control the party structure in their own favor, and so that they will ensure that the party structure do not do anything that is in line with the party constitution, but rather in line with their own aspirations. And that brings to mind the 2019 APC primary election in Zamfara State, where APC was unable to conduct primary election but forcefully imposed candidates, and this led to APC losing all the elective offices there to PDP, as the case of lack of internal party democracy in the conduct of primary election was challenged in the court. And that is one of the very biggest problems of party politics in Nigeria: lack of internal democracy. Number 6 here is corruption. This remains a disturbing phenomenon that poses a great threat to party growth in Nigeria. Political parties have become a bedrock and an incubator for corrupt leaders, as party selection process is always fraught with irregularities, and corruption are visibly seen in party primaries. Just like Omobalaji 2009 has actually argued that electoral corruption is the consequence of greediness of godfathers and politicians, and also being mindful of the kind of party system involved. Nigeria, which practices a multi-party system, operates a zero-sum game politics where the winner takes all and the loser loses all. To avoid the loser losing all, they try to engage in all form of possible activities, including corrupt practices, to ensure that they don't lose election. There are numerous instances where politicians have been charged with various corruption charges. For example, Azigwe was investigated for questionable practice in 1944. In 1983, General Muhammad Buhari toppled democratically elected government with various issues on corruption. The very recent one is the case of PDP that is being led by Ayu. It is actually alleged by Wiki that Ayu took bribe, and that he dipped his hand into the party fund and spent. And as a rider to that allegation, members of the working committee of PDP turned the money that was given to them in droves. That is a very critical example of corruption as a problem of political party. Because of that aspect, Wiki has continued to insist that that IU cannot lead him to party campaign because he is corrupt. And you discover that the party PDP has not been coherently working together. What are the types of political parties? The type of political parties that we have elite political party, we have mass political party, and then elite political party. From the word elite, this type of political party is made up of people from the highest stratum of the society. A good example is the Conservative Party in Britain, which had started off as an elite party with a membership limited to only wealthy privileged people. Due to increased suffrage and political participation, the party created room for the common in order to form a very broad voting base. Mass party, on the other one, this is a political party this political party places no limitation on membership. It draws membership from every section of the society without discriminating and without any prejudices. And unlike the traditional elite party, where membership is limited to a certain stratum of the society based on position they hold in the society, mass party aim at ushering and giving a voice to all citizens from different religious ethnic group and from different social and economic strata. Thank you for watching. See you in our next class.